Welcome to another Ryan Sports Views. Tonight, on this New Year's Eve edition, I will be talking about Toronto FC's offseason so far, what they have done, the rumors that are very close to happening, but they're not finished yet, so I won't make a video for it itself until then. You know what I'm talking about, but we will talk about every rumor, everything that's happened since the Canadian Championship final against Montreal, the 1-0 loss that put Montreal into the Champions League, where they're facing Santos Laguna in the round of 16, which I'll be covering, okay? Remember that, I'll be covering it. I don't know how exactly I'll cover it, but I definitely will be wearing a Champions League shirt that I got, maybe, or I'll troll and wear a Blue Jays jersey or something. I don't know. Either way, here we go. First off, of course, Javier Perez, the day after the Canadian Championship final. Javier Perez and Ali Curtis dismissed. Gone. Of course, this was going to happen, okay? We knew this for months, especially Ali. He was persona non grata since Armas got fired. He did not show up since that press conference where they promoted Perez and fired Armas. We knew this. Perez, we kind of knew with the Bradley rumors. But Javier Perez did his job. I'm not mad at Javier Perez. He kept the boat afloat. He didn't have us win the wooden spoon. He got us out of the wooden spoon and handed it to Cincinnati. Do I think we still could have won that Canadian Championship final? Yes. Is it bad that Pozuelo got hurt? Yes. Am I going to put that on Perez? No. Perez is a good guy. I like him. I wish, here's what I want. I would love to see him be hired for TFC 2. Mike Munoz left to go to the Galaxy, back with Vanny for the Los Dos or to run their academy. It was something like that, but he left TFC, Mike Munoz. I would love to see Perez be the head coach of TFC 2. It's easy. Be like, Javier, we liked what you did. You're a good youth coach. You're good at running the academy. How about you do that and coach TFC 2 in MLS Next Pro? They should do it. And I think they're considering it. I think that's a common sense thing. So I think they're considering it, and they should, I think. I like Javier Perez. Good guy. Seems like a good coach. I'd love to shoot the breeze with him about all this season. I really would. Probably should get a hold of him and see if I could interview him through his website, but I'd love to do that, but whatever. And then, of course, it comes to Ali Curtis. Speaking of MLS Next Pro, Ali Curtis leaves TFC to become the competition director of MLS Next Pro. Good. He has nothing to do with us. Get the hell out of here. I'm glad you're gone. We knew you would be, but I'm glad you're gone because you were absolutely horrible. Every signing that you made that was actually good was a Bez Vanny found signing. You didn't do anything yourself. You did no legwork yourself. And I can't be completely mad with him like I am Armas because we did go to an MLS Cup and almost win the Shield in his tenure. It only really went to crap the last year, right? So I can't be completely mad at him. He did have good moments. Was it his moments? He probably would take credit for it, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's still trash, though. So, goodbye. Enjoy being competition director at MLS Next Pro, and hopefully you don't ruin that, okay? Because you ruin everything. So, hopefully this is more up your lane. And if not, you can go back to Goldman Sachs or be a banker and get stock squeezed by Wall Street bets. Yes, I'm bringing that joke back because, honestly, I'll go ahead and do it. Now, finally, the good news, or most of the good news. Oh, wait, no, Jozy Altidore. Rumored, and the rumors have still been there, Jozy Altidore, and this is good news to a certain extent, but also bittersweet. Toronto FC are trying to release him, to end his contract, terminate his contract. They are talking together, trying to settle down to 4.5 instead of the 7.5 they were going to pay him. This year, I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know why they're trying to settle, but I think Jozy will be released, and it's his time to go. I'm not really a fan of how he's been playing the past 2 years. He's been good. He's had clutch moments, and he's been good his whole career, but I think it's time to just let him go. And if you have to, nobody's going to buy him. They're probably going to sign him as a free agent, so you have to release him. It's time. Okay, it's time. He needs to go. Josie's done great things, but it's time to go. So I'm glad they're doing that. Jefferson Sateldo, speaking of departures, linked to a move back to Brazil. Anybody but Santos, it looks like. Palmeiras, Sao Paulo, Flamengo. Seems like everybody, Corinthians, everybody's connected to Sateldo. And he needs to go. So I'm glad. I hope it's a buy, not a loan move. But even then, if he's loaned, we still get a DP spot back. So that's good. And he needs to go. And he will be gone. I don't think he stays into next season. He's gone. Him and Josie are both gone. I think Pozuelo's the only one of the three that are still there when it comes to the DPs we have now. Pozuelo's the only one who's still going to be there. And who even knows that this may be his last season there. I think they do extend his contract, especially around May if he's playing well. And I think they get it done. But it could be his last year here. And that'll suck because I love Pozuelo. He's a great player. Now to the good news. First off, the return of Raheem Edwards has been rumored as a free agent. Did not get picked in the re-entry draft. He is still a free agent, which I'm shocked because Raheem Edwards is awesome. I don't know why they would do that, but Bob Bradley coached him last year at LAFC. Oh, wait, no, forgetting. Yeah, Bob Bradley has been announced as the manager and sporting director of Toronto FC. See, I knew I missed something, but we'll get back to Raheem Edwards after we talk about Bob Bradley. What a signing. Bob Bradley is a great manager. He built LAFC from the bottom to the top. And honestly, the front office screwed him over. He has his own. It's his team. This is his team. And he's making these moves. Nobody's in his way. And that's exactly what he needs. Okay? If he can make the moves, which Insigne, Raheem, Crescito, Borjan. I think Borjan's probably coming in. I do. And then maybe that player from Poland, that Spanish player from Poland, Jesus Jimenez, right? I think that's what his name is, Jesus Jimenez. Belotti, any of those? I'm good with that. And we'll get into that. But Bob Bradley will build this team back up. He already is trying to build this team into a Champions League contending team in one window. I told you this will be quick. I trust Bob Bradley. He's a good manager. I told you this will be quick. Now, does it have to turn out on the pitch? Yes. But do I think it does? Yes. So, Bob Bradley was a great hire. We got him. He wanted to come over, and he did. There you go. So, I'm happy about the Bob Bradley hire. It was an amazing hire. He needs to be here. We need a manager like him and a GM like him. He knows what he's doing. I trust Bob Bradley. Top 4 in the East. We'll probably win MLS Cup the way they're building this team if it pans out. And they'll probably win in Nashville if I go to Nashville in August, and I'll be the first win I see live. So there we go. At a stadium. So there we go. So Bob Bradley, there we go. A great signing. I like him as manager and sporting director, but that sporting director caveat, director of football caveat is what we need, frankly. So with that being said, I love it. Speaking about Bob Bradley coaching, Raheem Edwards. Raheem Edwards was coached by Bob Bradley at LAFC last year. Bob wants to bring him back, especially as cover for the left backs and right backs. Maybe he'll be a starter if Lorenzo leaves the club, which I have not heard any rumors about Richie Lorenzo yet going to Europe, which I'm shocked. I thought he'd be a lot more sniffed around. Oso's the one that doesn't surprise me. I didn't think Oso was going to Europe. I think he stays. I think Oso stays. I do. And Io, I think he's pretty close to re-signing as well to TFC, so that's good. We'll still have Io Akinola. But Raheem Edwards, I like him. He's a great player. He can play on the wing. He can play at wing back. If they want him to play at the wing, that would be great. He should have never left the club, frankly. I'm a big fan of Raheem Edwards. Always have been. He should have never left the club. Should have never. And the fact that he did is sad. They should have never had him leave the club. But of course, unprotected in the expansion draft. Speaking of LAFC, picked him up, flipped him to Montreal. Montreal flipped him to Chicago. And then he's just been bouncing around the league ever since. And who did he play for before LAFC? Because he played for Chicago. Chicago got rid of him. Who did he play for? Because LAFC wasn't... I forgot. Who was it? Huh. I forgot. I can't search it, but... Huh. I know he played in MLS. Wasn't one of the... Was it like San Jose or something? Somebody irrelevant? Probably was. That's probably why I can't remember. It was somebody irrelevant. There you go. But with that being said, I'm happy with the Raheem Edwards rumors. I think he does come back. I think it's pretty much obvious. And there you go. Another free agent signing, Shane O'Neill, Seattle Sounders center back. I like him. He's a good, strong center back. Very good, whether he's second or third, but he'll probably start the season at the second center back role because I don't think we get Crescito from Genoa before June if we get him. But I think Shane O'Neill starts the season as our starting center back. And I think that's fine. Because Shane O'Neill is a very strong center back. He's good at playing. He was great with Seattle. He was part of the best defense this season. With a lot of injuries. And he was great. I don't know why people are worried about Shane O'Neill as a signing. I think that's a great signing. I trust him. And I think he's a good center back. And we need center backs. And honestly, even if he is third center back level, that's still better than what Omar was, and that's still better than what Zavaleta was. So honestly, oh yeah, both of them are gone too, by the way. Okay, I'm trying to make this video short, so of course I'm jumping around, but Omar and Zavaleta are gone. Omar went to New England. What the hell are you doing, Revs? You're going to lose to Cavalli now, you know that, right? You're going to get Joe Public by Cavalli. You know that, right? Good. And Zavaleta's probably going to LA, so there you go. I don't have a problem with that. Screw them over, not us. There you go. But Shane O'Neill's a good replacement. If we have to play Kemar Lawrence there, I have no problem with it before Crescito gets here. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it, okay? With that being said, now we'll get to the Italians, because that's about it, right? For everything else besides Insigne, Crescito, and Belotti, right? We'll get to that. And Jimenez. But that's kind of fell apart recently. I think that was kind of a trial balloon, honestly. We'll start with that one. Jimenez plays in Poland, striker, winger. They want him. They were looking at him. He's also a free agent in June. I don't know why they're going after all these guys. I know we're only going to have them miss 10 games if we get them as free agents. But you really can't go buy somebody. I trust Bob Bradley, but is this easier for you? I still feel like, I don't know, we'll talk about Insigne, but, I mean, he's a good player. Jimenez, not Insigne, we'll get there. Oh, Insigne is a great player. Don't get me wrong, okay? I didn't try to say that in a bad way. He's a great player. He's not just a good player. He's a great player. But back to my point. With that being said, you have Jimenez, and he's a good player. He's an okay player. And with that being said, I'm trying to see where this is going. I think Belotti will be better, and I think that'll turn out kind of like Insigne. But Jimenez is a good other option if we have to. I'll take it. But there you go. Now, let's get to the big ones. Lorenzo Insigne of Napoli. Great. Striker. Second striker. Winger. Can play both ways. Probably more like would be a winger if he comes to Toronto. They want a true striker, so he probably play the wing. Insigne is a great player. European champion. You know everything about him. One club man. Did great with Napoli. Got them close. Is getting them close to a league. Scudetto in Serie A this year. Will they get it? I don't know, but he's going to stay there, I think. That's why. But for me, Lorenzo Insigne is a great player, and I love watching him play. He's shorter than me. He's 5'4", but a very good player, very reminiscent of Sebastian Javinco. And I believe Insigne is one of the best signings MLS could ever make in its short history, and we're getting him. You thought Javinco was great? Just wait till Insigne comes to Toronto. This is going to be amazing, and I love it. Lorenzo Insigne to Toronto FC. And it's pretty much done. At least him signing the papers. Him coming in June at least. But Bill Manning's going over to Naples, Italy, to talk to him, to get him to sign. That's probably happening. But I think they're also going to go and talk to De Laurentiis of Napoli, the president, and see if they could hatch out a fee for him. About $20 million, 20 million euros. I could see it. I don't think they will, but it would be nice. I'd be happy with it. But I'm not making a full video about Insigne and my thoughts about it until he is officially a Toronto player, whether that's in June or now. But when that announcement comes, I will make a video about Lorenzo Insigne. Simple as himself, for himself. I'm not going to jump the gun. Even though that may hurt me on views, I'm not jumping the gun. Okay? There we go. But it's a great signing. Toronto needs to make this, and I trust that this is what brings us back, mostly. And the center backs, but Shane O'Neill is good. Speaking of center backs, Domenico Criscito from Genoa. Italian, strong center back, also friends with Insigne. That's why I believe this is going to happen, and I'm sure of it. Center back, left back, but I'm sure if he comes to Toronto, he's playing center back because he's 35 years old. He's older, and I don't think he probably has the pace to play left back, but if he has to cover, he will cover, but I think he starts as a center back. If he's playing at Genoa, that means he has more to give than Omar Gonzalez, so I'm fine with it. Even though he's 35, I'm fine with it. As long as he can play from the back, Mavinga would probably still have to save him sometimes. But again, if you're playing in Serie A with Genoa, a team that Christian Pulisic was linked to not that long ago, I think you have more to give than Omar Gonzalez Concrete Feet did. So I'm fine with Criscito. Great player. I like him from what I've seen. He's very strong, stout. Definitely more of a starter than Shane O'Neill, but if it falls off, at least you have Shane O'Neill, or if he gets hurt, there you go. I'm good with that. And I like Criscito. He's a good player. I want to see him here. I think he will because he's friends with Insigne. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think so. So there you go. And finally, the last rumor, or the second to last rumor. The ones that I don't know will really happen, I still have faith for, but they have been categorically denied. But I still think they're talking. Andrea Bellotti of Torino, also a free agent in June. Striker, European champion, a great player, more like the Josie mold, type of striker we want, we need. I'd love to have Andrea Bellotti in Toronto. He's a great player, a strong striker, and I think he'd score lots of goals in MLS, especially being assisted by Pozuelo, Insigne, and Schaffelberg, because Schaffelberg is good, damn it. Stop acting like he isn't. And Osorio and Bradley. Trust me. And Larea as well. And Raheem Edwards. Like, Jesus Christ. This team has got some power. Oh, and yeah. Before we get to that. But Bellotti, of course, at first said no to Toronto. But that was before Insigne was pretty much done. And let's look at how Insigne went. Insigne took a while. At first it came out, got debunked, still kept talking about, and now he's damn near a Red. I think the same happens with Bellotti. He said no, the rumor came out, it got disproven, he said no months ago, but that was before Insigne. And I think they will get something done. Now, here's the way I think it's going to happen, ironically enough. I think Insigne does come before the season. They do get a deal done with De Laurentiis for the transfer fee. They get their man. Kind of like Seba, but except it actually has to be paid out. And then Bellotti, I think they get him, but he comes in June. But until then, Ayo Akinola and Ifun Inyachi Achara hold down the fort at striker. That's what I think. Speaking of other players, Sebastian Javinco, he ain't coming back. Nah, he ain't coming back. I think that ain't happening. They're not paying him what he wants. He still wants DP money, and he's pissed. Now, of course, the first article about Toronto was mistranslated. He did not say anything bad about Toronto FC, what ESPN FC posted, but they're working with Andrea D'Amico, his old agent, to try to get this Insigne deal and I guess Criscito and Bellotti deal done. He don't like him. He fired him for a reason because he thought D'Amico was the reason he left Toronto. And that's why he's with a different agent now, Seba. And he doesn't like D'Amico and the fact Toronto's still working with him. So, to try to be an intermediary here, a translator, so to speak. And Seba don't like it. He said he's full of fried air, which is pretty a nice insult. But with all this Seba salt, whether it's fake or not, I don't think he comes back. And honestly, I don't think he realizes that he's not worth DP money anymore. Or even high TAM. And the more he doesn't realize that, I don't know. I don't think he comes back. I don't. Maybe next year, but not this year. And honestly, he's washed anyway. And finally, the last rumor before I really quit. Milan Borjan as a goalkeeper. He got released from Crvena Zvezda, Red Star, and he wants to come to MLS. And honestly, who do you think's actually offered him? I think we know it's Toronto. To me, I think it's Toronto or Portland that's offered Borjan. It's one of them two. I don't think it's Montreal. I think it's Toronto or Portland. It's one of them two. And honestly, I'm leaning towards Toronto. I think he wants to be near his hometown, in his home country. He says Canada-wise, he's from Hamilton. Or that's where he's from, Canada-wise. I shouldn't say he says, but he reps Hamilton, which is very close to Toronto. So, of course, you know this. So, with that being said, I think Borjan would want to come somewhere that's closer to his home in Canada. So, I think it's Toronto. I really do. And Milan Borjan is a way better goalkeeper than Westberg or Bono. And honestly, Borjan, what really makes him a good goalkeeper is the fact he's a lunatic. If he wasn't a lunatic, I don't think he'd be as good as he is. He's a damn lunatic. And in a good way, okay? Borjan's a lunatic in a good way. I like him. He's a strong guy, smart guy, cerebral, and that's what makes him so good. Like, people would piss their pants in front of him. He's a lunatic. And I like it. Okay? Not a bad way. He's a shithouse, and I like it. Stone cold, Milan Borjan. So, I'd love to have him in Toronto. We need a goalkeeper like him. And they'll do more in January, and trust me, I think they're going to do so much in January that it behooves me to not do the top 10 right now season and do Toronto news. So, there's going to be more of this type of talk, okay? Insigne, Crescito, Borjan, Raheem actually being confirmed, and more other players, other center backs, and all that. And sales, too. Because I'm sure it'll heat up for Lorea, I hope. Osorio, not so much. But there you go. So if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Check out my Patreon, $5, $10, or $20 a month. Or wait till the middle of this, or January, for my YouTube memberships, $1.99 or $5.99. We will work on those. I think I'll launch them around my birthday bash live stream on the 20th. Because that makes sense, right? And it's before the World Cup qualifiers and everything else football-wise. And then, actual matches. So there you go. And then, of course, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Tomorrow, I have a promo reflecting on 2021 and predicting and talking about what I want in 2022. So there you go. So there you go. If you like this video, also hit the big red bell notification once you subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, all that. Super chats on the live streams. Put this in playlist, share this with your friends and family, all of that. Happy New Year to y'all. I hope you have a great 2022, and let's have some fun, because 2022 will sure as hell be a great year for me, and for y'all, I think it will be too. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See you later. Come on, you Reds. We're going to have a good 2022.